Hello, everyone. Welcome to Voices number 8 in our series, and it's a pleasure to be here. I just want to say, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night for you, wherever you are in the Commonwealth or the world, just want to welcome you and thanks so very much for joining us on our Voices webinar. As usual, we want to invite you to just note in the chat where you're joining from at this moment, which country in the world. It's really good to get a sense of where our participants hail from to be a part of our webinar series. Without any further ado, I'm going to just bolster right into moving forward. We have with us this morning for me here in Vancouver, Canada, our presenter from Namibia. And I'm so excited about the presentation because we will be exploring artificial intelligence, AI, in policy, teaching, and learning. Our webinar series, we have had them bi-monthly, and we're at number 8. And so we are moving on to listen and learn about the experience from NAMCOL. So I see that we have persons joining us from Jamaica, Guyana, the Bahamas, Namibia, Belize, Seychelles, Canada, Fiji, Botswana. Oh, these are beautiful places. New York, Jamaica, Zimbabwe, Grenada. So many beautiful destinations in the world. Lesotho, lovely, Kenya. So far, and if you have not yet put your country in the chat space, please go ahead and signal where you're from. So I've given those who are coming enough time to get here, and at 3 minutes past the hour, I'd like to introduce you to our main speaker for the moment. Please meet Dr. Edwig Karipi. Dr. Karipi, she's the head of open schooling at the Namibian College of Open Learning. The acronym is NAMCOL. And Dr. Karipi will be sharing with us today about AI integration in teaching and learning, and she'll be looking at the NAMCOL experience. Before she does that, let me give you a little bit in terms of her background. Dr. Karipi is the head of open schooling at NAMCOL. She has a distinguished career in the Namibian education sector. She has served as teacher, curriculum developer, chief examiner, and chief marker for the Namibian Senior Secondary Certificate in Agricultural Science. She also holds a PhD in education, with her focus being on open educational resources at UNISA, along with other academic qualifications in the area of education and agriculture. So I know you're here to learn from the experience at NAMCOL, so I will now turn over to Edwig to just go ahead and take over the moment. Thank you so much. Over to you, Edwig.
Thank you. Let me share my slide. Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Moore. I will start without wasting anybody's time. My slide.
Okay, it's coming up beautifully.
Okay. Perfect. And then I will okay. Okay. I think all of you can see the slide.
We can see your slide.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm Edwig Karipi, beautifully introduced by Dr. Moore from the Common. presenting to you today from Namibia, the land of the brave, as we call it. And I'm representing the Namibian College of Open Learning. I'm going to share with you the journey we are taking in the integration of AI in teaching and learning and in institutional operations. My presentations will cover, I want to talk a little bit in the context of our country, the context of our institution. I will talk about the digital footprint of NAMCOL. I'll talk about the ODL ecosystem of NAMCOL. I'll talk about the project itself, the AI integration project between NAMCOL, NOLNET, and the Commonwealth of Learning. I'll explain more what that means. And with that, I will then talk about the benefits, the challenges, the way forward, and so on. In terms of Namibia as a country, Namibia is a very big country with a small population of about 3 million people. If you look at the map, we are bordered by Angola and Zambia in the north. We are bordered by South Africa in the south. We are bordered by Botswana in the east. And you can see on this side, we have an Atlantic Ocean. That makes our country so unique and beautiful. We are Africa's youngest democracy, gaining our independence in 1990 from South Africa. And we are well known for the beautiful landscape like the red dunes. Many people know about the dunes in Namibia. The Tosha National Park is a very big park, and the Namib Desert. Apart from that, the country is rich. It's a resource-rich economy with diamonds, uranium, copper, and fisheries. I'm not saying the people are rich. I'm saying the country is a resource-rich economy, not the people, with diamonds, uranium, copper, and fisheries. And in terms of ethnic groups, about 13 recognized ethnic groups in the country. In terms of the college, the Namibian College of Open Learning is a well-known institution in Southern Africa. And it was established in 1997 through the Act of Parliament. The aim was to provide educational opportunities to out-of-school youth and adults through open learning methodologies. Within the country, we collaborate. We collaborate also nationally and globally. And within the country, we affiliate to the organizations called NOLNET. NOLNET stands for Namibia Open Learning Network Trust. And it's an organization which coordinate the activities of ODL in the country. Maybe just to give you a background, Namibia has 3 public higher education institutions, including NAMCOL. And NAMCOL is the only standalone open and distance learning institutions. The other 2 are conventional universities, which provide ODL programs. Hence, we all 3 institutions affiliate to NOLNET. The NAMCOL programs, what NAMCOL offers, NAMCOL is a comprehensive institutions, and we offer 3 main programs. The biggest one being open schooling. Open schooling in our context refers to secondary level programs, which is grade 11 and 12 in our country. And we are providing just complementary curriculum to the national basic education. And in terms of enrollment, for open schooling will be about 25,000 learners per year. I mean, we are saying the country is about 3 million, so 25,000 is a big number in our context. NAMCOL also offers TVET, which is Technical Vocational Education and Training. In terms of TVET, currently we are limited. We don't offer really a lot of trades. It's an ODL institution, definitely. the challenges of infrastructure for Tibet is real. So we are limiting our trades for those what we can manage for now in terms of infrastructure. Tibet is more a physical program. And then we offer higher education programs, which range from certificates, diploma degrees, and master's degrees. Definitely our vision is to transform into an open university in a very, very near future. So that's why we currently expanding in higher education programs. This slide is just showing you the digital footprint. As a country, the first map is indicating the network coverage of the country. Namibia is a country like in so about 80% of the countries cover network, and the rest we still have areas which are dark, areas which don't have any access to any digital. So in terms of NAMCOL footprint, digital footprint, here where the yellow logos are, this is our regional offices where we are operating from throughout the country. We have four main regional offices: the northern region, the northeastern region, the central region, and the southern region. You also see the brown dots. These brown dots shows the sub-regional offices. With all those and at all those offices and regions, regional offices and sub-regional offices, we provide at least connectivity to our students. We provide we have computer labs. We establish computer labs in all the regions, in all other areas. And our learners throughout the country, they can access the internet through these regions, through these offices and computer labs. So apart from that, through the NOLNET partnership, I just mentioned NOLNET is a network where OTL collaborate. So through that partnership, we also utilize other facilities from other partners whenever they have digital resources, our learners could also access through that pathway. But these are the NAMCOL digital footprint. NAMCOL adopted the blended learning approach, which combine face-to-face tutorials, digital content in terms of e-learning platforms. We have computer support centers, as I mentioned, multimedia content, which is developed for broadcasting, like radio and video lessons, and online interactions through Teams. That is how we support our students. This is the NAMCOL Hotel ecosystem, and that is how I'm just showing you this so that you know where we are coming from, where we are now, and where we want to go in terms of AI, because this approach makes it ideal for scaling AI tools in teaching and learning. Hence, I'm showing you that currently, this is where we are, this is how we operate, and this is how we support our teaching and learning. Now I want to tell you now exactly how it started and how we felt the impact of AI as an institution. So the first thing what just come to us is that there is a need for us to reassess our existing policies. We have policies in terms of ethics, we have policies in terms of copyright, OER policies, e-learning policies, teaching and learning policies, material development policies. We have policies, existing policies, but we realize that something needs to be done to integrate AI into it, or otherwise they are becoming invalid. Where I am now, the electricity just tripped. So I'm in the darkness in the room where I'm in an office, but because it's raining outside and I'm in Namibia, the electricity currently just tripped. But we can proceed. Okay. Apart from policy, we also notice that the capacity of our staff, we need to reskill. There are
Edwig, can you hear me, Edwig? Edwig, you are freezing a bit, and so we're not quite hearing you. What I'm going to propose, if you let me share, and then you could also turn off your camera. That way we might be able to, you might be able to save on your bandwidth, okay? Okay, guys, so Edwig just dropped off. So let me go ahead and share her presentation, and hopefully she will be back in time. Edwig, let me go ahead and share your presentation. Is that fine? We're not hearing you. You're still muted.
And now?
I'm hearing you very clearly now. So I was saying, would you like me to share your presentation and then you could jump off camera, and that way it might save your bandwidth.
Okay. Where did you start to lose me?
Just at the point when you were going into the AI policy and why.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let me share, and that way it will give you more speed. So let me go to where you had stopped. I think this slide.
Yeah, is that slide.
Okay.
I'm on that slide.
So let me just go into share from current slide. Okay. You want to try now and see how it goes.
Can you hear me now?
Very clearly.
Okay, I was saying that we have just realized that we need to do something about what is happening, because we realize we are not at the same level anymore, with some stuff advancing in terms of technology and advancing in terms of AI. Some are resisting to use it, some are scared, some don't know what to do with it. So we realize that there's a need for us to reskill and capacitate our staff. In terms of assessment as well, we also notice that the traditional ways of assessment, of evaluating competence of learners need to change, because we notice that the performance of the learners, some learners start to perform way above their capabilities. Then because of AI, we notice that learners, especially our learners on ODL, and they are using online, so they start to use AI and they are performing way above, and tutors started to worry about it. And there's nothing much you can do, because there's no policy what says how should we use AI in assessment. So those are some of the things what makes us to stand up and say, let's seek for support from the Commonwealth. And that is how we find ourselves where we are now. Also, in terms of material development, myself, I'm coming from material development. And we just noticed that using AI will reduce our material development time by half and also reduce cost. Because the way we are developing content now, for example, it can take up a whole year just developing one program because we have to involve content writers, content editors, language editors, you have illustrators, we have graphic designers. With AI, we realize that AI can take over some of those roles and we can cut that time, shorten it with half. So that is the reason why. That is how AI impacted our operations, and that's the reason why we decided that we need to do something about it, and we need to get support, and we need to integrate AI into our policies, into our operations. That gives the birth to the project, what we call NAMCOL NAMCOL project. We started it in October 2024. We concluded the project in terms of the support. We concluded it in July 2025, and this call really came to our rescue support. Dr. Moore, she was really willing to support, and she came full force to support us. Here we stand. This is a group of knowledge partners management who came for the workshop for policy AI integration, and this our expert Prof. Karipi from the Commonwealth. The objectives of the project, the main objectives, as I indicated, was to capacitate our staff to policies. The initial idea was that we will take all our policies, the current existing policies, review them, we send them to the consultant, review and integrate it. And initial idea, we also thought those are the three main objectives we had in mind when we initiated the project. The model we followed with this project is that first we started with an online workshop, same consultant. In this workshop, we included the NAMCOL staff, the other knowledge partner staff. It's not only a NAMCOL issue, but we decided to include all ODL staff from knowledge partners, knowledge institutions, knowledge partner institutions. The first workshop which was attended by about 33 academic staff, was conducted online. And it was really hands-on, where we dealt with the tools, the ethical issues about AI and different tools. And it was really an exciting workshop we had online. And the second workshop was now for the management of the same institutions. I indicated that Namibia has three public institutions which are affiliated to knowledge, so including NAMCOL. So these are the management from those three institutions, and then we decided to discuss about integration of AI into policies. And with this workshop is where now the idea of developing AI policies came out. I will talk more about that in the next slide. And then the follow-up workshop, after now the call project has ended in July, we did not stop there. We decided now to capacitate our own NAMCOL staff, especially the part-time staff. You know, as an ODM institution, we depend more on part-time staff. NAMCOL staff complement is about 104 permanent staff, and the rest is part-time. about 2,000 part-time staff. These are now our tutors, our host teams like editors, writers, and so on. So in these follow-up workshops, especially this one was more on material development, we decided to capacitate our part-time staff. And this we have started now to do it ourselves. And then we are still continuing this. Whatever the training we are conducting, we are including the AI into it. What did we achieve with that project? As I indicated, AI policy. Initially we thought we will just take our existing policies and we review and we integrate AI. But then when we through these projects and interventions, we realized that we need to, this is now NAMCOL as an institution, we need to develop a standalone AI policy first. And during that second workshop, we already decided and we already started to draft one with the support of the call consultant. We started to draft our AI policy, which is a institutional policy, not to do with one function, but whole institutional AI policy. As I speak, this policy has gone through all the processes and is about to go for the board approval in December. So coming January next year, NAMCOL will have a fully fledged AI policy, which is approved. And we are really proud of that. We are really happy and proud of that. And the NONET, because NONET has an office, has a secretariat, and they decided that the ODL is a national sector policy, ODL policy of the country. They are revising that, and with our support as partners, they are revising the ODL policy and integrate AI into the ODL policy. These are the two policies what we really worked on through this project, and this is the success story what we can talk about today. That as we speak, the ODL policy, the Namibian ODL policy, is being revised in AI integration, and the NAMCOL has drafted an AI policy. With the follow-up workshops, we developed the courses. Those the follow-up workshop 3, which I showed in the previous slide. Those people what we have participated in that workshop are the part-time staff what we have already recruited for the development of courses. So they have started now with that training what we gave them. They are started to engage AI in the development of the content they are developing. These courses are also not signed off yet. They are online courses not yet signed off. So if these courses are signed off, we will probably share with Dr. Mo how these modules have been enhanced, because definitely there will be a difference between the development of now NAMCOL, they are talking about AI wherever we go, and we are promoting AI use among staff and also among students. We're just waiting for the approval of the policy, and then we kick off the AI fully integration in teaching and learning. Still want to confirm whether we are together. Dr. Mo, are we still together? Schontal, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Edwig. Sorry about that. My computer was doing a little misbehaving, but I can hear you.
All right, thank you. Now, just after the project, if all of us, maybe some of us remember that COL hosted PCF 11 in Botswana in October this year. So I have decided also to do a survey or a mini study about the project. And these are some of the voices of those participants in my study. This study was presented also at PCF 11. I presented this study at PCF 11, and it's also something which I'm proud of, and it's a result of the call NAMCOL NONET project. So the participants' voices, as you see them on my screen, are still saying that some are still saying that they gain basic skills and they are continuing now to advance themselves. At least the project makes them to gain basic skills. Remember, there were some who have never touched any AI tool before this project. Some have never. Only some just started to become aware of AI tools during the project. So in terms of the perspectives, they are saying that for AI to realize its full potential, we need to consider ethical. The ethics is very critical. The teacher empowerment is critical, and also equitable access. That's a challenge that not everybody have the same access. The benefits are obvious. Everybody is seeing that the use of AI can help us reduce the operational cost. I already mentioned the cost of material development, for example. If we get away of some of those roles, the language editing, the graphic designing, the illustrations, all those, AI can take up some of those roles, and we will really save a lot of cost. There are challenges what were mentioned in the study. The ethical issues came out also. Still more on the challenges from the participants, data privacy and biasness of AI. They are talking about the digital divide and the equity. Of course, the participants felt that there's a need for ongoing professional development. That's those are some of the findings of the study I did immediately after the COL project. Now, what did we learn? Things what we learned and things what we can improve in the future. So we felt now that it was very important that from the beginning we involve the pattern. Remember, I said that the first workshop was just full-time staff from both institutions of knowledge. The second workshop was management from both. That may be fair. But then we realized that we're supposed to bring in part-time staff already from the beginning, and there's more need for the part-time developers to be capacitated. Another issue what we have learned was the access on the AI tools and also on the learning management system. During the project, we needed to practice on Moodle or on learning management system. Now, unfortunately, we did not plan beforehand to have everybody having access on any of those. So some of the participants didn't have access to the learning management system. Some are just student support staff, some are assessment staff, some are material development staff. Those ones, of course, they have access to learning management system, but we realized that we are supposed to put the tools in place beforehand, and also the access to the tools, to the AI tools. That these many of the tools requires you to subscribe or to pay. They are free only for 1 minute or for one use, and then the second use they ask you to pay. All these challenges are saying the same thing what we have to iron out if we have to engage in a similar project in the future. And also now that we need to encourage peer mentoring and peer and collaboration among staff and also among institutions, because we also notice and realize that these institutions are also not at the same level. There are some which are advanced, there are some which are still at the beginning of it. So the collaboration and peer mentoring is very important. And another challenge, another lesson what I have learned through this is that the institutional calendars need to be considered because during that time, I remember there was, I think, elections. We have elections again last year. I'm just saying so because today is an election day in Namibia. And last year, we voted for the presidential, and it was at the same time with the projects, the workshops. And some other institutions have also other activities what they have pre-arranged. And yeah, so those things need to be considered. What are the challenges? These are the challenges current and they also challenges before. The challenges still remain. Doesn't mean that now that we have engaged and we have went through this project and we are capacitated, we don't have challenges. In fact, I need to give you a disclaimer already that I'm not an AI expert. You cannot. I'm not expecting questions about technical questions about AI. I'm just sharing the experience we went through. The challenges remain. The connectivity issues are real. They are still there, and the digital divide is still there. The access to AI use, the access to AI tools, the subscription, the cost thereof. There are some people who have subscribed and they are paying for their own tools. There are those who cannot afford, and so on and so on. There are resistance to change is also another challenge. There are some, especially among the academics. I told you that we are using part-time staff more, and these are senior academics, some of them. There is still that mentality of that. What am I going then to do if it is supposed to be? So that resistance is still there and is influencing decision making because it just takes one person to be a strong leader in something and then influence everybody else. So that is still a challenge. And the policy implications, apart from the AI policy now, we need now to reassess or revise all the other policies as indicated earlier. If we get the AI policy approved, there are still implications on other policies. So that it means that all the policies, especially teaching and learning policies, need to be revised. And the skills I already mentioned that people are not at the same level in terms of skills and they need capacity. And this technology is advancing and is moving very fast. Today is this tool, tomorrow is another tool. Somebody was even talking about something else which is replacing AI, whether it's true or not. But what I know is that you need to reskill every single time to move together with this technology. The institutional impact of this project, enhance staff competency very much. I can proudly say that my staff, especially in material development, they are confident in whatever they are doing. In many cases, they just do the things by themselves and they engage AI instead of hiring. And in ODL, you keep on hiring and firing because you get this part-time and this part-time decided, no, I can't, I'm busy, I'm I'm traveling. So you keep on hiring and firing. So many of our staff now, they say, no, I will use AI. In many things, people are using AI. So policy innovation is an impact. Research output, I have already indicated that there was a study which was presented at PCF. And also then the staff development part of this project. What is the way forward? In terms of the institution, in terms of NAMCOL, we definitely need to make our policy operational when it's approved immediately. That requires the development of guidelines, specific guidelines to guide specific activities and specific functions. That is key. And of course, we need to expand the capacity of our staff I'm just saying if call is still open to us, if the doors are still open, we definitely going back there to knock for their support. And all in all, I think there's a need for collaboration and establishing communities of practice in this area. And as an institution, as NAMCOL, we believe that alone we can achieve very little, but together we can achieve much more. And we are really ready and we are willing to assist and support whoever with whatever we can. With that, colleagues, partners, thank you very much for listening to me. And I'm just saying, NAMCOL is not simply adopting AI, we are transforming education through AI. Thank you very much for listening. Schontal, over to you.
Hey, thanks a lot, Edwig. I'm here. Thanks for your presentation. Very informative, very interesting. And I will now open up the space for participants to engage you in conversation, discussion. I had noticed earlier on that Dr. Titus Muneen, his hand was up, so I will give him that opportunity now. Titus, are you there? You can just go ahead and talk. Just unmute and go ahead. All right, so whenever he's ready, while he's getting, opening up to talk, I want to ask just a quick question, Edwig, about your academic staff. You had said that know that many of them coming out of the workshop, they feel more competent.
I'm now ready, Doctor.
Okay, you're there now? Go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. I'm now clear.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. My input is, is my sound clear?
Yes.
Yes, you are clear. We can hear you.
Very good. I'm Titus Munene. I come from Kenya. I'm right now in Thika. Thika town is just north of Nairobi. That's where I'm attending this meeting from. Now AI is a tool that should be adopted because it has really transformed many sectors in our country. But then my concern is this: now that it has transformed the way we deliver the content in the lecture halls, in the classrooms, it has also changed the way we evaluate our students, providing the feedback in real time, and so on. It's actually a wonderful tool which can be adopted and change the way we do things in the classroom. In fact, I can see that many sectors and departments in our government have adopted this particular technology in spite of the challenges which are very common, which you have highlighted in your presentation, Dr. Edwig from Namibia. Now, my worry is because I heard the Norwegian government, the government of Norway, initially adopted this particular technology, the AI technology, and then abandoned it. The reason why they abandoned, they didn't give the reasons, but now they have resorted even to use the traditional methods of teaching, using chalk, book, and pencil. They have abandoned it because I think they have highlighted reasons which are well known to the policymakers of the government of Norway. Now, my concern is because this particular technology is being taken up by mostly African nations, and in the last AU assembly in Ethiopia, there was something that was that touched on the technology, use of technology in schools in Africa, particularly countries which have adopted this particular technology. with the challenges that are rampant, I wanted also to point out a few things about what you have presented about developing the staff to be able to undertake this particular task and actually use that technology in a very productive way. So I think my concern is just on that particular issue of a first world country like Norway abandoning that AI technology. Why should we take it up as Africans? And yet the countries that should undertake this or should take this as a tool in their own classroom or in their own educational system are abandoning it.
Okay, thank you very much for that input and feedback from Kenya. I'm not aware of the Norway case for now, but of course, maybe there must be a reason why they are doing it. And of course, for us also, it's not something which is casted on stone to say we are adopting it and we are going to stick with it. And for them, I think to say they found something is not right with them, they have gone through it. I believe that if we go through it, we might also realize that we need to abandon it. But where we are now, we are implicated by it in a way that it prevents us to operate. So the only thing we have to do now is to capacitate ourselves and to understand it and to create awareness and to make our people aware and understand, at least so that it can work for us in a way it should be. Because if we leave it like that and we say we are abandoning it without there won't be any control of how you will abandon it. You better at least capacitate or skill your people in terms of what the technology is all about, how you can use it, how it can benefit you, before you then say that, okay, enough is enough. We have seen what AI can do. We have seen the damage AI can cause to our learners. Therefore, we are deciding to abandon it. That is just my view. Yeah, for where we are standing now, I don't think we have a reason to say AI is a bad tool.
I think that's a reasonable perspective, Edwig. And what I was saying earlier before Titus, I was based on the fact that you said the academic staff, they are using AI. They're not necessarily waiting on permission or being told how to. They are experimenting, exploring, utilizing. You also mentioned the business of a community of practice, and I'm wondering if at NAMCOL there's that opportunity for staff who are using AI in teaching and learning, for them to, share those moments with other staff, full-time, part-time, management staff, and so on, so that you can get a sense, linking back to possibly what Titus is raising, how has the experience been shaping up, positive, negative, is there that opportunity for staff to present in a community of practice among themselves about how and to what extent AI is being used and helpful or not? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you are right, Schontal, and it should be like that. We have started now. What we have done when we were taking the policy through the processes, and we were soliciting the staff input on the policies, when we started to hear more at what the staff the perspective from their side and perceptions and so on from staff. But for those who attended, the participants of the workshop, being also part of the staff, were really now promoting, and we could see their voices, and we could see how they are promoting AI among the others. So yeah, that's the idea, to create a community of practice so that we every time we have an engagement, we whether it's a CPD, just these trainings, ongoing trainings, what we offer to staff, we always have an item on AI. That is the idea.
Okay, thanks a lot. Steve?
And in terms of the academics, whether you like it or not, people are using AI. Whether you want the students already using AI, and we have seen it. We have seen how they are improving. We have seen, and there's nothing you can do about it. As an individual lecturer or tutor, there's nothing you can do about it.
For
so,
sure.
yes, and also the staff. As I said, some people already subscribed. They are paying for ChatGPT themselves. They are using tools. You could see the improvement on the performance and the things what they do.
Yeah.
So there's nothing much you can do. It's just like when the people started to use calculators. Many people were skeptical, and some teachers they didn't allow us learners to go calculators in classes. But there's nothing much you can do.
Definitely the dial keeps moving in different directions, because when AI first surfaced and started impacting education, I think the educators were the last. The students were ahead of educators with AI use. And so they had to come on board, and universities and higher educational institutions, they had to make decisions about how they would receive or reject AI. So we can see metamorphosing of expectations, of attitudes, allowances towards AI. And that keeps on being changed as, AI becomes more integral to society. So I think that's an experience that institutions have to take on their own. It can't be because this institution is doing it or not doing it, then my institution will or will not. I think it has to be at an institutional level based on their experiences and what they see, that they will make the decision around that. But it's still very much up and down, the perspectives with regard to AI. But for sure, in this century, this time, persons who are not cognizant of the use and value of AI will feel like they're on the periphery. And that's not a good place to be at. I think persons need to immerse themselves in it, understand it, use it, and then make the decisions around whether or not it is relevant or important for teaching, for learning, for institutional, making it policy within institutions. It has to be done on an institutional level. So that's my response to Titus's comments, and as well as your feedback to him. I see Steve, go ahead and raise your question or concern.
Thank you. Glad to be here to weigh in on this interesting conversation. I hope you can hear me clearly.
We can. Go ahead.
Thank you. Speaking from Kenya, where my friend Titus is also from Kenya, I gather. It's good to be here this evening and to, as I said, to weigh in on this. Now, I think it is very interesting to hear the case of Norway, first and foremost, where they abandoning even the basic technology, going back to chalk and blackboard. That is very interesting because even the whiteboard, I think, is technology that should be already been taken up, and very interesting. But I'm also thinking that one of the reasons why AI perhaps could even be abandoned, like the case of Norway, is speaking from experience. I teach at a university in Kenya, and one of the things that we are struggling with is students and how they use AI, like ChatGPT. You give a project, and the next few minutes they have finished with the project and so on. So I don't know whether you are experiencing the same issues at NAMCOL, Dr. Karipi, and how are you handling that? Because that may also help us, perhaps. We can learn from you. Kindly, if you have those issues, how do you handle that? How are you going around that? Kindly, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. I think that was one of the main reasons why we are deciding to integrate it in teaching and learning so that we can educate our learners and come up with guidelines to guide the acceptable use of AI in assessment and so on. So ours is now not small learners are students at tertiary and so on. So definitely that is the issue. I just mentioned that some learners started to perform way beyond their capabilities. What do? You don't have any policy. You don't have any guideline what to say. Only certain percentage of AI is acceptable on the assignment. You don't have that. So we decided now to develop a policy. And with this policy, we will develop the guidelines. Guidelines for assessment, guidelines for material development, guidelines for each and every function of them. In those guidelines is then where we are going to specify to say, for your assignment, because we have tools, we have Turnitin, we have all these tools are already part of the model we are using for teaching and learning. We will then decide. It's not me. I say the institution will decide to say, for whatever level, we will accept a certain amount of AI in assessment, or in assessment, there's no AI at all. I mean, those decisions need to be taken now based on policy. Because if you don't have policy, how are you going to go about it? There will be some academics who are saying, no, I will not mark it. We are seeing it. Some academics are saying, no, I don't mark. My students are not allowed to use AI. But who are you to tell the students not to use AI if you yourself are using it? So this is in fact, this is the things what prompted us that we need to do something about this. We better integrate it. We better teach our people. We better create awareness and come up with solutions about it. I hope I've attempted.
Yes, that's a noble response there. And you have outlined that as well, in the areas in which you're paying attention to AI and the importance of ethics in all of this. I'm looking in the chat and I'm seeing a couple of questions that I want you to address. Lisa has raised the issue of pushback from staff. Were there concerns expressed by staff about AI integration? Were they not supportive of the workshop and the integration? Yes.
In terms of staff who participated, maybe.
Or just staff in general.
Yeah.
Did you get pushback, or everybody was on board and they were gung-ho?
I know, not necessarily those who participated, because if you participate, you become aware and you become clever. So you're different. But I noticed some which are saying, no, AI is not me, I'm not going to use AI, they are they. I mean, that's obvious. They are always those people. And there's nothing you also can do, because AI is just there to enhance your proficiency, to enhance your way of doing things. If you decide you are not going to use it, it's fine. But it does not prevent the institution to adopt it.
Okay.
What is important for us is that the institution needs to have a stand on it. We need to adopt it. And even if we adopt it, if there are those who want to stay where they are, it's fine. We are not going to force anyone to use AI.
Yeah, there's even that latitude.
Yes, even now, as I said, there are some which are saying, I'm not going to use a language editor. When I'm developing my radio lessons, especially these things, what you know that AI can do even much better than the language editor, who is not an English-speaking person. Yeah. So there are already some who are at that. But then those who are pushing it, they are there. That situation.
Okay, cool. Another question had to do around TVET educators and whether they were also part of the capacity building workshop and pushing for the business of responsible integration of AI. Any feedback in particular from the TVET educators around AI integration? That's from Tanji. Go ahead.
Okay, the TVET was part of them. Unfortunately, that time, I think they were doing most of the people who were selected to attend, they were in assessment, doing some national assessment somewhere, but especially the management of TVET during the policy workshop, they were there. So this is not just a one section or one school type of the issue, it's a whole institutional issue. So the TVET is part of NAMCOL, and they are part of it. They are in fact more excited because AI can do much more in TVET, especially us who are on ODL and they are having challenges of getting the students and expanding on the programs because we need infrastructure. So they're definitely looking for tools that they can use to simulate and so on and so on, so that they can teach without necessarily bringing the students in the workshops. They were part of it.
Thanks so much. And I see there is one person, C. Wilkinson. Go ahead, Wilkinson.
Hi, thank you for holding this in this conference. I am calling in all the way from Guyana, South America, and I am a teacher of language, and I am also a language activist to do with the, the raising of the respect and usage of the local languages other than English. And I think what AI, I'm totally on your side about using it. What it is exposing, though, is the inadequacy of a colonial education, because in our societies where English is just a language from the colonizer, and we're not using our local languages, the children are just learning better ways of cheating because we are asking them to write papers in English, which is not their native language. So they're finding better and better ways of cheating. And as you rightly said, we cannot stop them from using the AI. So what I have been experimenting with, and it's still an experiment, is showing them how to use AI. And it for me, I have found an essay written way back in 1977 by Peter Elbow on free writing, where he just lets you, he said, just write. Let writing be controlled by just your consciousness and your fingers on the keyboard or the pen. And then I was able to show them how you can take that mass of inchoate, unstructured writing, invite an AI tool to organize it. And they are really shocked to see what AI can do with their own writing. Another thing I showed them is don't trust AI for giving you accurate content, because I showed them how I fed a question in about the census of Guyana, and the census figures for Guyana 2025, when in fact we had not even done, the results of the census done in 2025 have not come out yet. So what AI did, two facts, the last census, conflated it with this year and fed you an incorrect statement. So I said, don't trust it for giving you information. Keep checking the information, but it can take your work and organize it. I don't know if I'm helping them to cheat, but I don't think so. What do you think? I just wanted to know your feedback on that.
Exactly it. I think you are right. That's exactly it. I have been using AI, but I realized AI does not really give you information. It just helps you to get organized.
Correct.
Or do something faster.
Absolutely.
It does not really provide information. So it makes it easier for you to formulate what you want to formulate.
Absolutely.
That's yes. So yeah.
And so last point, I don't want to talk too much. It is forcing us back into the communities that we are supposed to be serving, not just to produce these papers and all that. It's showing us that we must create real meaning for our education.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, Ms. Wilkinson, for that. Continuing with the business of using AI in teaching, where you took us, C. Wilkinson, there is also a comment from Sally in the chat saying how we need to find ways to integrate AI responsibly in classroom workspaces. And later on down, I see where Ramona has addressed that question about responsible integration of AI in classroom. Ramona says that and I'm not sure if Ramona is male or female now, but Ramona says that it's a pronoun that I want to know, go on to using. So I'll just have to say Ramona, that he or she pairs projects with presentations. So when students are given presentations to do, it's not just an or paper-based presentation that's submitted, but they have to speak to it. And that's one of the ways in which he or she is addressing AI responsibly. So just to check in back with you, Edwig, in terms of your staff who are using AI, how are they reporting around responsible use of AI to ensure students' growth and development? And it's not just an easy giveaway to students. Any feedback from staff around that?
Am I on now? My internet is on and off now.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. You know, us now being an ODL institution, we don't really interact with students face to face or in classrooms, but that's why I'm emphasizing on assessment and material development. Our teaching and learning is embedded into the materials we are giving, in the assessment assignments we are giving, whether on the platform or print. We give them to students to do and then submit. So definitely what we are doing now is that we are training our tutors and our setters in those who are involved in assessment to do it differently. The whole assessment of competency need to change. There's no more need for you to ask students a what or a where or a when. It won't help because they will produce 100 out of 100. So the way of assessment need to change. And as he mentioned that you need to pay it with presentation. Now we cannot now do presentation because we are OTL. We need to change the way we want to assess the competency. Not to just for learners to reproduce what is already there. So there must be a how, the application thereof, the how maybe to apply to something. So that is exactly our emphasis in terms of assessment.
Totally. Assessment has to change. It can't be content driven. It has to be about other kinds of skills that students need to demonstrate, and the assignments need to pull on that. The whole business of authentic assessment becomes even more important during this AI period. I'm seeing where Tamosi and Myra have asked the question about when should AI be introduced to students and how. Should it be introduced? Should students be, asked to be co-creators with AI? Should they be building? Should they be learning how to prompt AI? So it's about the when, the how, and the what. Any feedback from your staff as they consider teaching with AI around these issues?
Yes, I emphasize that our emphasis on ethical use and acceptable use. For us, we don't worry much about students because we know the students are much ahead on these things than us. So it's just a matter of controlling it on them. So for the teaching, if they don't know about it, is fine. We are not forcing them to use AI. But the fear is that the unethical use, there must be an acceptable usage of AI when it comes to students in teaching and learning. It's not necessarily the responsibility of a tutor to teach them about AI, but it's to guide them on how to use AI ethically. I think that is our point.
Agreed. Thank
Yeah.
you. Melissa reiterates in the chat that she says, quoting, I'm a lecturer at a technical vocational sixth form in Belize. I am an AI teacher, and that makes me someone fond of technology. When AI was just growing, many of my coworkers were against it, but I could never because I saw how it helped me as a lecturer, how it made my life easier. So I have to find ways in my intro to computer courses on how to properly integrate AI. Teach students how to prompt, how to do vibe coding, how to integrate it in their lives without robbing themselves of learning. So that's the feedback from Melissa. Any comments on that, Edwig?
Well, my comment will maybe probably be for the teacher of AI. Do they introduce a program, a course on AI, or how did she become an AI teacher? Is it a general
She's
core
a
module for everyone, or
no,
is
she's
it
a computer science teacher, but she has
she's a computer science teacher? Okay,
yes,
okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. If
yes.
you are computer science teachers, and those teachers will be at the advantage definitely to. I assume that all the computer science teachers will have a component of AI in their course, but in other courses, of course, not. And
Okay, you got cut off for a moment. All right. I don't know if you're back, Edwig, but were you finished?
yes,
Okay, cool. All right. So I think I have one more question that has to do with policy. And I think it's very progressive that NAMCOL wanted to revisit their policy, to refresh them, to integrate AI. It's a bold move for an institution, and also because there are so many plural voices in an institution that could, um, you know, um, put down the policy, not support it, not encourage it. But yet NAMCOL is being bold to say, hey, let's integrate AI. How do you think they, at the different levels of approval, do you think that there will be major pushback to the policy being accepted? Because I know there are different constituents within the institution who have to look at it, give their feedback and so on. How do you feel as administrator asking for this policy and it's going through the rounds and you're not yet sure how the feedback or the outcome will be? How is that?
in terms of the AI policy, we are through already with it.
Oh,
Yeah, the AI policy has gone through all the ranks and files and is going to the board for approval. The board is the last stage for approval.
okay.
So for other policies, because we decided now that we first wait for this general AI policy, if it is approved, it's only then we can then align the other policies into it. So the revision of other policies will then always, when you revise a policy, you have to check on the AI policy to see what is there for you to draw so that you can align all the policies to it. These are the only policies which are applicable to it.
Okay.
Not all institutional policies, but more teaching and learning policies.
Okay.
But the AI policy is already a done deal.
All right.
Maybe
So
the few, I don't know now, the way we do things is not really up to one individual to say no, and then we say we cannot go ahead with this policy. Because if the management and the majority of the institution are saying this is the way to go, then we also benchmarked. Institutions like UNISA, they already have their AI policy. So we also are benchmarking.
all right.
And everybody where we benchmarked is like positive, is a way to go. So yeah.
That's excellent. So from the management level, it's a go with the AI policy. And then from there now you will align other policies and see how that works. So you're on board
Yes.
in a good way. All right. So Alfred says we can resist AI. We must embrace it. I think every university or college program must have a modular course on AI, and so that AI can be fully integrated and embraced. We can't run away from it. The biggest challenge is the older generation, the old school generation. They resist everything modern. Why should we continue to use the 1960s tools when 2025 tools are available? Any
I
feedback?
agree. I agree. No, I don't have any feedback. I just agree with him.
Okay, great.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes, and Tomasi is asking about plagiarism and AI writing detection tool at your institution. What's the particular tool that's used to assess that, or there's no policy or expectation around AI and plagiarism?
Well, currently we have a plagiarism tool which is Turnitin. which is embedded in the Moodle platform what you use. So Turnitin is detecting also AI. Detecting the plagiarism itself, because those are two different things. It detected the plagiarism and it also detected the AI. But in terms of plagiarism, we are clear, well, the policy is already there. That is, we only accept 25 for different levels of programs. But now with AI now, we don't have policy now about that. So because AI is not somebody to say the person has copied Karipi's work. It's just information which generated by the machine. There's no name on it unless you want it to quote somebody for you. Then you can as well prompt it to do that. Otherwise, AI is just general information which is roaming around in the internet. AI just collecting and putting it together for you. So, but the tool is indicating that this is AI in an assignment. But without a policy, how will you judge this student to say this is nonsense or this is acceptable or not? And hence we are saying we need guidelines, we need policies so that we can move forward.
Thanks.
Okay.
Tao
Thank you.
Clark is asking about the students' involvement in the AI governance policy. What role did they have in the feedback around it? Edwig is lost connectivity again, and I'm
offline. Yeah, I'm going on and off.
That's fine. We'll figure it out,
Yeah,
and we'll wait for
my
you.
internet is becoming more and more unstable. I don't know why.
Right, no
But
problem.
yeah,
Tao just
we
wanted
normally
to know. You heard the question, Edwig?
about the
Okay.
student involvement. In our case now, we only have students' involvement at the board level because they are representative at the board. But as I said, our students are now not here. The students are ODL, we don't see them. We don't really engage them in such, but students have representative at the board level. So we will yet to hear their pronouncement when the policy is going to the board next month. But the involvement is just through the board representative, student representative in the board.
Okay. It would have been,
Yeah.
thanks. It would have been interesting for the students' perspectives to be considered as the policy was being, developed and refined before it gets to the board. But nonetheless, when it gets there, they
Yeah,
have an
they will
input.
air their voice, yes.
Okay, great. All right, Edwig, we thank you so very much for your presentation, and very informative, and it stimulated a lot of deep thought. I'm sure institutions that are represented here, persons will be thinking now about, how to approach AI integration. At NAMCOL, your experience was to start at the policy level, and with the policy, you had a workshop around that. Then from there, you had training for staff so that they could look back at their courses and see where they wanted to infuse AI. They also got peer critiquing of those course modules. And then your institution, the staff members went on to be the trainers to train others who were not at the workshop in effective use of AI. So you have a structure and a strategy that works, and your policy has been through the rounds. It's now very advanced, and it's now waiting for the board. Quite a lot of lessons learned, and even at this stage, so suggestions about including the voices of students in AI policy. It's also good that we talked about that freedom now for staff to play around with AI ahead of the policy approval, that your institution allows that freedom and flexibility for them to think about how to integrate AI in their classroom space, using it ethically, responsibly. And some of the suggestions by participants on this this webinar about, twinning AI with presentations, getting students to co-create. All of those things are really great strategies for teaching. And we really would look forward to seeing and hearing about the community of practice that will evolve at NAMCOL just from the experiences of staff. I think that would be pretty cool to move forward on as next steps for NAMCOL. Edwig, I want to also thank the consultant from COL who worked along with you, with your institution in building out the AI policy and encouraging staff to integrate it. Just want to mention her name, Dr. Karen Ferrer-Myers from South Africa, who supported you on that journey. So
From Eswatini.
From Eswatini, thanks. Yeah, right. So her background, but she does work. Yeah, it's Eswatini. So thanks a lot, Dr. Dr. Ferrer-Myers, for your support in that area. And NAMCOL, you have 11 course modules that have been developed. You have 116 staff members who are capacitated. Closing words, Edwig, on the whole experience and how we move forward.
Thank you very much, Schontal. I really have to appreciate and thank Commonwealth of Learning, especially Dr. Moore. I know that you really played a crucial role in this. At some point, you didn't see the way forward, but I know that you were so adamant and you really motivated and you do whatever you could do for us to go forward with this project. I really have to thank the Commonwealth of Learning for their support. And I know that they are always willing to support whatever project we come up with. And I really want to thank all the participants for this webinar. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's really wonderful. I hear that so many people were logged in, and it's a wonderful, has been a wonderful evening for me. Thank you very much, Schontal.
Okay, you're very welcome, Dr. Edwig Karipi. Just to say that from the Commonwealth of Learning, it's a pleasure hosting these seminars where we get our partners and our consultants to talk about the projects that they do in partnership with the Commonwealth of Learning. We do this because we want to expand and strengthen alliances among VUSSC stakeholders. We want those in the small states of the Commonwealth to know that if you have an educational need for your institution to build out the capacity of your institution or to build the capacity of staff in terms of professional development, please do not sit in your spaces with that need. You need to reach out to us at a Commonwealth of Learning so that we can see how we can facilitate and support that need. Usually we work in collaboration where we, get similar small states together to benefit from the resources that we build out. But we need to know where the need exists. And so that's one of the reasons why we're having these webinars, so you can know what we're doing and you can also benefit from what we're doing. Certainly the small states, we have, not as much influence. And so when we come together like this, collaborating, then we create a big voice and we can get our needs addressed and we can let our voices be heard. So that's the whole thrust behind VUSSC Voices. Just want to say thanks again for everyone who came out and supported the webinar. We actually had 414 persons registering for this webinar. And in terms of turnout, I remember seeing as many as 135 persons being present on this session today. And that's tremendously rewarding and wonderful for us. As usual, in closing out, I want to just give a shout out and a big up to all the states, the countries which are represented here. And so I am just going to call the countries again as a way of ending out our webinar series. Thank you so very much for being here. Remember that our next webinar will be in January. We have them bi-monthly. So in January, look out for the flyer coming at you, and we want to see you again. Dr. Karipi, thank you. And today you had represented 16 countries that I counted. There might be more, so please just put it in the chat. You had Jamaica, Seychelles, Guyana, Bahamas, Belize, Canada, Dominica, Fiji, Botswana, Lesotho, the USA, New York, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Grenada, Kenya, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. And we also have Ghana and any other place that has not been called. Please type it in the chat so that we know that you were represented. Zambia, excellent. So big round of applause. And it's so great having these conversations. All right. So thank you. Have a wonderful day. I am Schontal Moore, the advisor for the Virtual University for Small States of the Commonwealth at the Commonwealth of Learning. Have a great rest of evening and night or day, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Karipi.
Thank you, Chantal. Thank you, bye.